Hi, good evening. My name is Diane Lashinskis, and I'm also a board member. And I'm going to introduce Craig Welton and Jake Leverrier from Best Buddies. Craig is the state director of Best Buddies, and he was instrumental in starting the first Best Buddies chapter in a Boston public school, which is housed at the Harbor Middle School. And what Best Buddies does, it promotes friendship, one-to-one friendship with children with and without disabilities. And it's right now at the Harbor Middle School. Our kids do an elective one-to-one friendships. They're paired with a friend. They go on field trips, skiing trips, and just enjoy each other's company. And Jake is running the jobs program. He's the supervisor of the jobs program. So I'd like to welcome both of them to tell you a little bit more about Best Buddies.
Well, thank you, Diane. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for having us. We appreciate all of your support, and thanks for the introduction. I would like a point of clarification. Diane was very instrumental in getting the Best Buddies program going at the Harbor. We're very proud to have an official relationship with Boston Public School in serving your students in the community. As Diane mentioned, the Best Buddies program is a social integration program where we match up students with and without disabilities in one-to-one friendships. We really try to take the disability out of the equation and match up folks with similar interests. For example, I've been matched up with my buddy for 10 years. His top 3 interests are Jimmy Buffett, the Red Sox, and pizza. So it's been a very easy friendship, and it's been a lot of fun. And really what we strive to do with our social integration program is to provide all of our students opportunities to go to the school dance, to go watch a play at the school, and just enjoy everything that all of our students should have the opportunity to enjoy. With that, we find that as these relationships continue and as we have an opportunity to make these friendships occur at the schools, we have students that become more self-confident in their own abilities. We have students that are more willing to speak up for themselves and show interest in areas of what they'd like to pursue as they become older and get towards that magic age of turning 22. So we're very grateful to be working with the Harbor. We're very hopeful to be working with more BPS schools in the future. We're currently working on that, and we hope to be serving more of your students in this community. And then as they do grow up to be 22 and beyond, we have a program called Best Buddies Jobs. We really strive to take all of the improved social skills, the self-confidence that they've built through their partnerships in the Best Buddies friendship programs, and work with them to find fully integrated community-based employment. I'll turn it over to Jake, and he can tell you a little bit more about how that process works. Currently, the number of folks that we're serving throughout Greater Boston, and a lot of our participants are BPS alumni that are now 22 and up that are working in their own communities. So thanks again for your time, and this is Jake, who oversees our jobs program.
Thanks, Craig. Hello, everybody. So the jobs program, Craig mentioned it briefly, and I'll try to keep it concise here and give you guys a rundown of exactly how it works, what types of support we offer. Essentially what we do is work with adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities, of course, and we seek integrated competitive employment. So we don't work with any type of sheltered scenarios, any situations where it's a group of individuals with disabilities working together, isolated from the community. We only work with community-based employers, places you've all heard of. Some of the employer partners we have currently are the Boston Red Sox, Stop and Shop, Marriott Hotel, Holiday Inn Express, Lucky Strike, a lot of places all over the community, really any industry you can think of, some law firms, financial places. So any place you or I might work. We do everything in terms of support from helping people create a resume, to sourcing references, to travel training, to on-site coaching. And we really can work with a very wide range of abilities. The program really focuses on working with folks who want to work. So that's really the big variable in determining who's appropriate for our program and who is not. Again, we can work with a very wide range of abilities, but one of the first questions I'll ask everyone who comes through the door is, do you want to work? A lot of times folks will be referred to us and people will say, oh, it'd be great for them, they'd love it, they need to work. And then you ask them, hey John, do you want to work? And they'll say, not really. And those folks might not be appropriate for our program. It is a program that is about truly competitive integrated employment. It's out in the community. It demands quite a bit of independence, and we do set high expectations. And it really is for folks who want to get out there, be independent, be their own adult, and make decisions and get out and make a successful career for themselves. The best thing folks can do to get started as they approach transition age and they're considering programs like ours, and it can be Best Buddies, it can be a number of different programs that provide vocational support and search for jobs and do all of those things. Best thing that folks, I think, can do as they approach that age is get themselves referred to one of the big state agencies that we and many other vendors or service providers in the area work with. Those are the Massachusetts Rehabilitation Commission and the Department of Developmental Services. We rely very heavily on them just to supplement the funding that we piece together to keep our programs afloat. So it's really important that everyone who comes through our program comes to us with some type of relationship with one of those agencies. That way we can continue to ensure that all of our programs are free for all participants and employers that we work with. Those are the basics. Hopefully I didn't go into too long there.
No,
That's fine?
yeah, I was short, so that's good.
Okay, great. Are we doing questions right now at all or no? Not yet?
What we will do, I think, is we're going to have probably enough time.
Mhm.
Whoever do the basic one, and then we'll go up we'll just do quick questions directly about the program,
Mhm.
and then we'll have a panel discussion about more of the overall product of transitional service.
Excellent, sure. So yeah, just a couple more, a couple of other bits of info about the jobs program. It's a person-centered program, so I know I talked about the types of support we provide and all of that, but really the heart of what we do is focus on the individual. So we'll work with one person at a time, and it's really about figuring out what drives a person, what makes them tick, and that's both for that person to really be successful and be driven in their work, and so that when we're bringing a candidate to an employer and trying to sell this person's skills, we're really bringing them someone who's enthusiastic about that job specifically. So it really is very similar to what recruiters and staffers do out in the community in that regard. You really are trying to get an employee to an employer, providing a legitimate service for a legitimate fee. We don't do anything below minimum wage. It's all competitive employment. But again, yeah, person-centered, all about the person, their personality, what's going to fit with their specific set of challenges and skills. And that's essentially what we do. I don't know if I missed anything crucial. I think I covered the basics there. Yeah. All right, great.
I do want to mention, we actually also have a partnership, and I'm sure Michelle will talk about it briefly, but we have a partnership with Cardinal Cushing where we actually work with some participants prior to transition age. So this is a new pilot for us that we've done over the last 3 years, and it's worked out pretty well. We're going to be looking at that continually to see if we can integrate that into some more programs that we run, but we actually work with some students at Cardinal Cushing that have been identified by the vocational instructors at the school to be ready to look for integrated employment in the community. So we'll start working with them between the ages of 18 to 22 so that when they turn 22, they have a resume where they've been working for a couple years and the likelihood for continued employment goes up substantially at that point. But as you've heard from Kirk and Colleen, and I'm sure you'll hear from Michelle as well, there's a number of resources out there. I think the biggest thing, as Jake touched upon, is as our students are getting close to that turning 22 age, just being proactive, reaching out. Any one of the agencies that you reach out to or service providers, I'm sure they'd be happy to sit down with you and getting involved and doing it early so that your son or daughter doesn't turn 22 and then you're finding out, okay, well, I have to wait 6 months before I can get referred to Mass Rehab Commission, which is the fact. So finding that stuff out early and staying involved, I think, will definitely help you out. And that's about it. Thank you.